Hi and welcome to this month's Mind in Bloom box. So if you haven't already discovered, this month's flower is Cosmos. So these are probably one of the easiest flowers to grow from seed. So I thought for beginner gardeners it was probably the perfect place to start. So what should you have in your box? So let's just have a look. So you should have your recipe card. You should have 6 of these little discs. You should have plant label, and you should have some twine. So the twine you're not going to use right now, but keep it because when your flowers start growing you'll need it to make your arrangements. And of course you've got your lovely seeds. So a couple of things you'll need as well as what's in your box. So I have got here an empty strawberry container that I'm going to use. You can also use maybe a lasagna dish or any sort of flat bottom dish. So a baking tray will do, something that you've got at home. And you're going to need a pen for your labels. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your little discs in here. Now before you do so, just have a look at them and really feel them. What do they feel like, and do they smell of anything? I don't think this smells particularly. So we're going to put this in here and we're going to add some water, and what will happen is they will grow. So if you put that in, like so. Be interesting to see if they smell of anything different once you get them out. So I'm just going to literally pour the water in there. Any water, tap water's good, or any rainwater. So just make sure it's better to put too much in so they're really wet, and then you can tip the excess away. So I don't know if you can see there, but they are already expanding. While you wait for your compost discs to expand, grab a cup of tea, put the playlist on that's on Spotify, just search for Adventures with Flowers, and it's the April one. Or just sit and listen to the sounds around you, so the birds tweeting, or the traffic in my case, not ideal, but you know, notice it and see how it makes you feel, and really listen for the sounds of nature if you can. Hopefully you can hear that bird tweeting in the background there, so that's what I'm trying to focus in on. The idea of this is really to help you be mindful about the way that you're feeling, to stop and take 10-15 minutes for yourself, as long as it takes to do this. Try and drag it out a little bit if you really want more of a break, and basically just have some time for you to really relax and really enjoy yourself, and try and learn a new skill. So the compost discs are ready now. As you can see, they're very big. So I have still got a little bit of water in the bottom of here, so I'm just going to tip that away. The reason I tip the water away is you don't really want them sitting in water, so although you want to keep your seeds moist, you don't want them to be really, really wet, because they will suffer from something called damping off. So the seedlings will shoot up, and then just because they're so damp, the structure of the stem is still very fragile, and they will just completely crumble and your seedlings will die. So you're aiming for moist compost but not completely sodden. So what you want to do is try and space these discs evenly in your tray. You don't want the sides to be touching, because the roots, when the seeds germinate, the roots will start to grow through the sides and they will all end up intertwined with each other if they're too close. So try and space them out as much as you can. So then, next thing is to take your pen. I'm using a marker, so give it a sniff. I always think marker pens remind me of being at school, which is some good memories, some bad memories, but on the whole, majority good memories. And you're just going to write the name of your seeds onto your marker. So these ones are Cosmos, and then they're called Fizzy Rose Picotee. So quite a nice name, I think, quite fun. And they're a lovely white and pink flower. so they will go really nicely in your Mind in Bloom bouquet that you will have grown across the season if you're a subscriber. So there we go. So I'm just going to do one label and I'm just going to put it in with these. You can do labels for each one, but I don't think they sit in that well, so I'm just going to put them in the tray and I'm just going to grow these on their own. I'm not going to put loads more in, so I know that everything in this tray is that variety. And when I come to plant them out again, I'm going to plant them all quite close to each other, and to be honest, labels once you plant out aren't quite so important because you'll be able to see what the flowers are because they'll be there, so they're most important at this stage, I think. So then next thing is to take your seeds and first of all give them a little rattle. Something quite nice about that, I don't know why, but there is. And then you're just going to tip them out into your hand and really have a look at them. I always find this really fascinating to look at the different types of seeds and look at their structure and to think about how they are they spread, so how the flower spreads its seeds. So these ones are wind pollinated, and you can look at them and you can see that they would probably quite easily blow in the wind. So all you're going to do, I think they look slightly like little bananas as well. So just really notice the colours on the surface and what they feel like in your fingers. So maybe roll them in your finger and see what that's like. And then you're just going to place one on the surface of the soil. One on each coir disc. And as you place it, you're just going to press it down to make sure it contacts with the surface. Okay. So the soil surface itself is obviously got the moisture that the seed needs, it's got the nutrients in the soil, and then obviously we're going to put it in a sunny spot so it will have the light, and that's what the seed needs to germinate. And like I said, so we're going to put them on probably a kitchen windowsill if you've got such a thing, nice sunny spot. Mine are going to go in my front room on the windowsill. If you've got a greenhouse, pop them in there, but it doesn't have to be a greenhouse at all. The Cosmos are half hardy annuals, they're called. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but basically it means they're from warm weather, so they don't like to be cold. So we are going to grow these now in our inside, and once they germinate you can send me some pictures, share them on social media and use hashtag Adventures with Flowers and tag me in as well so we can all see. And you can also join the private Facebook group, which is the Adventures with Flowers Subscribers Club, so the link should be in your email. And you can ask any questions on there. You can post pictures of your seedlings as they germinate, and ask any questions you want. So that really is a safe space. Don't feel like any question is silly, because I'd rather you asked and had successful plants. And one other thing to mention is germination rates. So most seeds no seeds have 100% germination rate. So out of 6, if you get 4, you're probably doing quite well. So don't worry if some of them don't germinate. That's completely normal. You've not done anything wrong, and yeah, don't panic. So hopefully keep them watered, keep them nice and light, and you'll have some little green shoots before too long. These ones are relatively quick to germinate, and then we're just going to keep them warm until after the last frost. So that's really going to depend on where you are in the country. You can actually go online and search for last frost dates for my location, and you can put in your postcode and it will tell you when the last frost is. So we are not going to be planting these out until after your last frost, because a frost will just absolutely wipe them out and you won't get any flowers. So, but don't worry about that. There'll be another video coming to your email inbox as and when we're ready to plant out, to show you how to do that. I'm in the south of England, so probably going to be planting out a lot earlier than say somebody in Scotland, for example. I know we've got one subscriber from there, so yeah, have a little look at when your last frost date is and just look after your little baby seedlings in the meantime. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, get posting on social and sharing the flowery love.